I think the practical side of it is quite unique. The again the wisdom, the tools that we teach are not necessarily our own invention, but we focus a lot on putting them in practice and supporting everyone while they're implementing them in their lives. So in our courses and workshops are actually a mixture of learning and coaching. Mm-hmm. Because we're there day by day. And the practice is the most important part of transformation. Mm-hmm. Because if you want to change some of your habits or some of the stories that you tell yourself, and perhaps where you find yourself stuck at the moment, you need to replace them with other stories, other practices, other habits that work better for you. And in order to do this replacement, you need to practice the new one. And so we're walking all along the participants or courses side by side as they implement all the tools. And we've turned all the principles of timeless wisdom into practices and tools that for our modern lives.
Like with all this practice, like whatever you learn is just always going to stay with you, kind of be and learn kind of thing.
Yeah, it becomes your your second nature, your innate response to the events around you.
Cool, that's great, thank you. So sorry, Lisa, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll just give an example. So one of the early exercises we do is about what we call mental chatter. It's a term that was popularized by Professor Rao. The mental chatter is the voice in our heads, the constant monologue that's always talking, always narrating our experience. And in the first week, we asked people to keep a log of what that voice is saying in their minds, and actually to set an alarm about every hour to just say, check in and take a sampling, basically. And so one of the things that's unique about Wise Humanity is that we see each participant going through experiments and collecting data. And in this experiment, you are the scientist and you're also the laboratory. So let's say we have 16 people in the course, and we have 16 scientists running the same experiment in their own personal laboratories. And at the end of the week, the scientists come together and pool their data. So then everybody's talking together about what is their experience inside of this internal monologue. And of course, everybody has things in common, and everybody sees it slightly different or has a different way of expressing it or understanding it. So the experiment that you did inside now sort of expands. It's like looking into 16 mirrors of people who are very much like you, but have also something to teach you about your, and people always say to each other, oh, I had that experience too, but I didn't think of it that way. And I'm so glad you said that. So it's unique in that the scientific element, like it's very practical. You really base your learning on who you actually are inside. And it's unique in the kind of sharing that happens that expands your understanding.